Hey everybody, welcome back to the next episode of the Balanced Vibes podcast. My name is Kirsten and thanks as always for being here today with me. Today's episode is a Q&A episode where I'm answering 3 of your questions. And this is the type of podcast episode that I love doing the most, the Q&A episodes, because I love learning about what you need help with. I really want to help. This is what I'm here to do. I want you to be healthier, fitter, stronger, lose body fat, lose body weight. If these are your goals, I want to help you to do it in a truly healthy and sustainable way. That's what I'm here to do. And that's why this is my favorite podcast to record. So today I have 3 questions from you. And you can always send me your questions to my email, which is kirstenkimura@gmail.com. You can also drop a comment on YouTube. You can also send me your comments through my form on my website, or of course, Instagram DMs are always open for you as well. So if you have any questions you would like me to answer, anything related to weight loss, fat loss training, getting stronger, getting leaner, and macros, then definitely get in touch. And if I can, I will definitely help you and include your question in the next episode. So this is what we're talking about today, Q&A. But before we get there, I have a really cool announcement to make. And if you are listening to this podcast, when it comes out, you are pretty much the first one to hear about it. So only this coming weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, I have a really cool offer for you. And this offer is called the Macro Basics Bundle. So what is the Macro Basics Bundle? The Macro Basics Bundle is a one-time macro calculation for you. So if you have been wondering, where should my macros be? How much should I eat in order to lose fat? Or how much should I eat in order to gain strength? Whatever your goal is, you don't know where you should start. The Macro Basics Bundle is exactly for you. So this is a one-time macro calculation based on your intake form. When you sign up for it, I will immediately send you an intake form where I'm asking you a lot of questions. And this is important for me so that I can put together the best plan for you. If you listen to this episode where I talked about online macro calculators versus working with a coach, then you know that online macro calculators don't ask you enough questions before they put together a plan for you. But this is what a coach does. So I will put together a plan for you. And before that, I will ask you a lot of questions that really help me to understand your current lifestyle better, your current eating habits better. So I want to know where you're at and what we can do. And then why is it called a bundle? So bundle means that there's something else included in there too, right? So there's this one-time macro calculation. And then there's also instructions how to use the MyFitnessPal app. If you have never used this app before, then this is something you have to learn to do if you want to lose weight or gain strength by using macros. Okay, so I have short instructional videos there for you. Another thing that is included is the Fit Physique Formula workout guide. So maybe you have already downloaded the Fit Physique Formula Protein Guide, which is teaching you all about protein and how to what your diet should look like. Then this is now Fit Physique Formula Workout Guide. This is a 4 strength workouts a week plan that will definitely accelerate your goals so that you can start losing that body fat or gaining muscle, whatever your goal is, much faster. And the last thing that is included in this bundle is a quick guide for you on how to adjust your macros. So just the basics, if you get stuck, if the numbers stop working for you, what you should do next, how you should adjust your macros, because your macros are changing as your body is changing too. What is not included in this program is one-on-one coaching. So there's no one-on-one coaching, there's no group support. You are on your own, you're doing it yourself, but you do have the guidelines, you do have the numbers to look at that will then start giving you the results. And your job is to hit those numbers as accurately as possible. So I remember that when I first started getting kind of interested in macros, I didn't really know what they should look like. I wanted to lean out, I wanted to lose some body fat, and I had heard about macros, but I didn't know how much should I eat. I really didn't, because people say something like, oh, maybe you could use a little bit more protein, or maybe you could use a little higher carbs, or maybe your fats are too low. But these are really, really vague things, right? They don't give you instructions. They don't tell you exactly what to follow. And I feel like we need these types of instructions if we really want to get somewhere, because otherwise it's like trying to drive somewhere where you've never been, but you don't have your map. So how do you get there? So that's why I found when I first started working with my first coach, I found the numbers really, really helpful, because I had something to look at, I had something to track, and then sure enough, in 4 weeks, I saw plenty of progress. So this is the same thing I want to offer for you. If you are interested, make sure to check out the link. It is everywhere, only Friday, Saturday, or Sunday. The spots are limited. I can't take too many people on, but if you want it and if you react quickly, then definitely this is a great opportunity for you. So please check out the link. It is in my YouTube description. It is in the show notes. It's also in my blog and also in my Instagram bio, also in Facebook. So wherever you find me, the link is there. So make sure that you sign up. And as I said, as soon as you sign up, I will send you this intake form that you then fill out, and then we can get started with your program. So this is all that I have about the macro, one-time macro calculation program. It's called the Macro Basics Bundle. So sign up if you are interested in it. All right, let's move on to today's topic. And like I said, I have 3 questions that I have gotten from you, and I'm going to answer them on this episode today. All right, so the first one looks like this. Anyone else confused on what to eat? Carbs or no carbs? Fruits, or do they have too much sugar? Protein, but not too much? Oh, it's so hard to know what is right. So this is the comment that I read in the Facebook group. And why are we so confused? Well, there's so much information out there. Have this and have that, just like she says. So I would say that the number one thing that really gets you far is to start focusing mostly on whole foods. So as soon as we start reducing the highly processed foods, a lot of things get better. So let's say that you're really struggling with weight and you want to lose some, but a lot of your foods in your diet, they are highly processed or you barely cook at home. Then start making that first change. Start eating the foods that are coming from nature, right? That are as close to nature as possible, and that they don't have like too many labels on them, right? Or any food labels on them. So when we think, what are those foods? They are mostly plants, right? All the fruits and all the vegetables. And then, of course, meat, because that's also part of the nature. This is where it comes from. And so, of course, also like potatoes and rice and plants like that. So this is the closest to nature that you can eat. And once you start taking that first step, everything's going to be better. You don't have to worry about like, was there too many carbs or was it, too much this or that? Because when you eat mostly, I'm saying mostly, not all, but mostly natural foods, whole foods, and real foods, then you already eliminate a lot of the foods that are super high in calories and super high in processed carbohydrates. So this is the first step. So now let's say that you are already eating this way. What should you do next? Should you cut your carbs? Should you go low carb? Should you start doing keto? What should you do? And you don't have to do keto, and you don't have to cut any macronutrients super, super low or throw anything out of your diet too. And this is just not necessary, because what always matters the most, if the goal is fat loss, is your caloric deficit. Okay, yes, hormonal health matters a lot too, but caloric deficit. So yes, you can probably lose fat when you cut your carbohydrates out, but it's often still because your overall calories are so much lower too. So a lot of times it always comes back to calorie deficit. And why would we have to cut out all the carbohydrates if we can get that same calorie deficit also keeping the carbohydrates in there? So what you need for fat loss, for weight loss, is balanced macros and also calorie deficit. Okay, you cannot lose weight if you continue to eat more than is needed for fat loss. There needs to be calorie deficit, and then of course high protein diet. You hear me talk about that all the time, but all 3 macronutrients should be there. So now, what about sugar? Can I have sugar? Can I not have sugar? Can I have fruit or can I not have fruit? I would say, again, sugar in moderation, it's okay, but if you can reduce the processed foods, the sugar that comes from there, then that's of course better, because you notice that when you have more real foods, you actually have less cravings. And also, if you keep your protein high, if you include that at every single meal, if you have at least, palm-sized portion of protein, you also notice that your sugar cravings are less, and maybe your junk food cravings are less, and you feel a lot more balanced. And then of course the next step up from there is actually macro tracking. If you want to get super dialed in, you want to know exactly how much you should be eating for your goals, then macro tracking is the most bulletproof way to get there. And I really, of course, recommend that most of your foods are whole foods, real foods. I don't like the idea that eat anything you want, even if it's like crappy or junk food. Even if you have calorie deficit, it's not healthy for you. So I don't care if you lose weight, but you are unhealthy. This is not good, right? I want you to be able to lose weight if this is your goal, but do it in a healthy way and take in as much nutrient dense foods as possible. Okay, so the next question is, how do I get rid of my back rolls? So there's somebody who posted a picture of her back rolls and said, I'm down, 7 pounds, and she had a lot of weight she wanted to lose. But she said, my back rolls are still there. So what can I do? How can I reduce those rolls? And, it's not only back rolls. A lot of women also ask about belly rolls or my thighs and all these different areas where we store fat. And everybody stores fat a little bit differently, right? So some people always have a little bit more on their belly, and some people really struggle with getting their thighs a little bit leaner. But the fact is that we cannot spot reduce fat, right? We cannot just pick that, okay, I want the fat gone from my stomach, I want the fat gone from my back. It doesn't work that way, unfortunately. And of course, this is all the marketing that we've been told that, oh, this is how it works, do 100 crunches and your belly fat will melt away. This is not true. It's absolutely not true. Fat loss happens from everywhere on the body, okay? We cannot find pick a spot and start reducing from there. So we have to eat a diet that is healthy for us, and also we have to eat in a caloric deficit in order to then burn body fat. So what we can do is that we can strengthen these areas so that they will have more muscle tone. So let's say that the person asked about back rolls. You can do workouts, you can do exercises that help to bring your back muscles more up, that helps your back to look a little bit more defined. Okay, so if you're looking for exercise like that, we can talk about deadlifts, we can talk about pull-ups. If you are at the gym, then the lat pull down is good. All types of rows are great back exercises, but remember that these exercises make you stronger and they give you more muscle definition, but they don't burn the body fat from your back, right? The same thing when we talk about abs, right? Everybody's about abs, all about abs. So it doesn't help you to do a million crunches or all the Pilates exercise. So Pilates exercises for core, I think they're excellent. They're some of the best exercises for the core to strengthen it, to stabilize it. But they don't make you burn fat from your belly alone, right? So the goal, if you want to lose body fat, whether it is your belly, whether it is your thighs, whether it is your back, we have to be in a caloric deficit, and then we have to support that with exercise. And the best exercises are always the ones that use most muscle. So that's why I always talk about deadlifts, I talk about squats. There are actually five exercises. So if you're not currently following any plan at all, there are 5 exercises that you can do, and you know that these are the best things you can do. And they are the deadlift, the squat, then row, overhead press, and then bench press. And you can do all of these exercises with a barbell or with a set of dumbbells. Do these 5 exercises and do them, let's say 10 repetitions, 3 rounds, and do it 2-3 times a week. If you are a beginner, you can do it a little more often if you are more advanced. And these are literally all the things that this is kind of like the foundation that you need. And if you do that, you will see great results from it. And of course, support that with a diet that's right for you. You have to be in a little bit of caloric deficit, like I said, and patience. You need a lot of patience. The workouts or the plan. So let's say the plan won't start working like 1 week, in 1 week only. You need a lot more time. You need to be in it for the long game, because everything takes time. We can't expect to get super quick results. Usually super quick results come through extreme dieting and being in a crazy deficit, and we all know how that ends. We gain everything back plus more because quick fixes are not sustainable. So these are the thoughts on how to get rid of back rolls or stomach rolls or wherever you want to burn fat. Remember that you cannot spot to reduce from one specific place only. And the last question that I got is, I gained 8 pounds in 10 days. What can I do? How can I get rid of this weight quickly? So this person was on a vacation and she gained quite a bit of weight. So what I would say that first thing, you gotta calm down, because this weight is not fat weight, right? So you cannot in 10 days put on 8 pounds of body fat. This is just not possible. So most of it is water weight, and most of it will also go down when you return to your normal healthy eating habits. You bring back your vegetables if you didn't have those. You bring back your high protein diet. You stop drinking alcohol. Let's say that you were on a vacation and that's why you gained a lot of weight. So these are the changes we have to make. Go back to your healthy and normal everyday eating, just like what you did probably before. And then let's understand that this is just temporary and that the weight will go down. But what I also want to say is that we also really need to work on our habits, because why did it happen that we went on a vacation and we were there 10 days, and why did we eat so much? What happened to our habits? What happened to everything that we learned so that we gained that amount of weight in a relatively short amount of time? And so I would start thinking about this way. Do I usually feel really, really restricted? Is that the reason why I went to town when I was on a vacation? Did I feel like I can never have these certain foods usually in my normal life? So now I have to make the most of it and eat them while they are available. And I have a feeling that this may have been the case, and this is a pretty typical scenario. And the problem is that we are just so restrictive, and we don't let those sweets and treats and maybe like a glass of wine be part of our everyday life most days of the week. And so we become so restrictive that now when we are on a vacation and these things are sort of available, we just go crazy, because we have this feeling that, okay, this vacation is going to come to an end. I have to eat and drink as much as I can, because then it's back on track. Because then I'm going back on my super clean eating habits, and then it's a structure again, and then there's meal planning again, and then there's restrictive eating again. So this is where actually the problem starts. It's the habit, it's the way of thinking. And it's the way of thinking that the diet that you're on, it's just like a temporary thing. It's almost like it has like an end date. So when this is over, this is when I'm going to do that. But instead, we want to build healthy habits for life, so that when we go on a vacation, and maybe we have a vacation when we don't track anything. To be honest with you, I personally on a vacation, I do not track generally. So I just make better choices, because I have learned through macro tracking and what I know about nutrition how to eat normally, so I don't go crazy, and so I don't come home 8 pounds heavier than I was before. So it's really about habits and telling yourself that what are the things that I can learn that help me live my life? Can I live this life forever, right? Because we want to make your healthy habits sustainable, so that there's no back on track mentality or gotta get like strict and organized again mentality. It has to become part of your lifestyle, so that you can have a piece of chocolate also during the week. You don't have to wait for Friday for it, or you can have a glass of wine also during the week. You don't have to wait for your vacation to allow yourself that. So these are my thoughts on these 3 topics today. If you have been wanting to know what your macro should look like for your specific goal, make sure that you sign up for the Macro Basics bundle. Like I said, it's available only this weekend, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, or until the spots are all gone. So make sure you get it if you have been interested in it. This is a truly unique offer, and I don't know if I will ever do this again. So if you have been thinking about it, now is really the time to sign up. If you have any questions about this program, or if you have any questions you want me to answer on this podcast, please send them my way, and I'm really happy to get back to you as soon as I can. This is all I got for you today. Next episode is going to be another Q&A, so I'm looking forward to it. I hope you too, and I'll see you again next time. Bye bye.